Let's discuss news of the day, things of that nature. I haven't worn this Buffalo in a while. This is the old classic Buffalo jersey. I like it. Anyways, so news of the day stuff. I usually do this on Monday, right? But yesterday was just, that just didn't work because I was insanely tired from not sleeping the night before. So after 8 hours of sleep last night, I can do it for you today. And we're going to start things off with Nick Schmaltz. Schmaltz is out for the year. So he goes to Arizona. He's out for the year. Arizona, you guys don't get good news. It just doesn't happen. Whether it's Houston, potential Houston owner cozying up to Bettman and the owners going, I'll take that team for you, to they can't score, to then they can again. It's been a rough year for Arizona, and with Schmaltz out, it gets worse. It's too bad too, because Nick Schmaltz, upon arriving in Arizona, it was clear that he needed a trade as much as Chicago needed that trade as well. And the play of Dylan Strome shows he needed the trade as well. So here's to hoping for a healthy Nick Schmaltz next fall. Riley Smith is out for Vegas, which means Brandon Pirri called back up. He's back in the lineup. He'll play tonight, and that's not Vaz. No. Somebody's gonna see that and say something. Anyways, that's oh man. Oh, all right. Bob Ross, I'm not. I can't turn this into a happy little forest. I'm sorry. So that's 8 out of 10. So Pirri will play his 8th, and again, as we get up to that 10 number at 10 games, he then has to clear waivers. So Smith's out. It's not supposed to be long term, but the clock is ticking on George McPhee and being able to figure out what to do. Or Pirri just plays like crap for the next few games, and then he'll clear waivers anyway. We'll see, right? So he's back in. Price is out. Price is out of the All-Star game. Price has been dealing with nagging injuries. And I've talked about this with Carey Price, and I have to ask myself, if I'm Montreal, why am I letting a $10.5 million a year goaltender play with injury? Seriously. I really hope that they're saying this because he wants the weekend off. Anyways, they're going to have to sit him the game before or after the All-Star break. The funny thing is they asked him about suspension. And when asked, the Montreal Canadiens are saying, oh, no, it's not a suspension by the NHL if he doesn't go to the All-Star game. He just can't play the game before or after. That's a suspension. It's the same thing. I guess the difference is he doesn't get his $11 million for that game. So Vasilevsky's in. So that actually makes the All-Star game better. That's the funny thing. It actually makes the All-Star game better. But it leaves Montreal without somebody in right now, unless something else happened that I don't know about. Got to have everybody. I guess they went, all right, well, we could put in the other goalie. Oh, the other goalie's Niemi? Oh, they'll set us all on fire. We'll put in Shea Weber somehow. We'll just throw Vasilevsky on there. Magically now Weber's going to win the last man in, and then Leaf fans are going to lose their minds. But there you go. And for Montreal, Schlemko cleared waivers because of course he did. And Toronto speculation has begun. So we're after the holiday season. Get ready for every name to be connected to Toronto somehow. Right now it's Wayne Simmons in Philly, Duncan Keith in Chicago. Is Chicago willing to trade Duncan Keith? Is that a thing? And I'm asking that seriously. Like, I honestly, at this point, I don't know that you're going to get back enough market value for Keith to make it worth trading a guy who's been your franchise defenseman for this long. And I don't know, with the game that Toronto plays, I don't know that Keith would be a great fit either. So we'll see. It's a very fast game, and it's a young game, and I'm not sure that Duncan Keith would fit in for the Toronto Maple Leafs or necessarily fix where they've got some issues. They do need help on the blue line. Simmons would definitely help up front. I think Simmons would be a fantastic addition, but there's going to be a lot of teams calling if those guys are available. Lindholm, of course, drilled McDavid. No penalty, and what people are talking about, the Edmonton Oilers didn't stand up for McDavid. You know, it's funny. This happens a lot. So Toronto, we heard about how they don't stand up for Matthews. We heard about how Vancouver didn't stand up for Pettersson, and now Edmonton didn't stand up for McDavid. Here's the thing. Teams don't goon it up anymore. It's not a thing. Especially in a game where you're winning or a game that's close. There is no gooning it up because somebody got drilled into the boards or somebody got a dirty hit. Yeah, I get it that people are upset, and you got a team with Cassian and Lucic, two of the loosest of loose cannons, and they didn't act. My guess is Ken Hitchcock on the bench said, "No, that's not us. We're not doing that." And it's kind of been coached out of the game. So people always, and there's all kinds of talk about, oh, you got to answer. This is terrible. There's no answer. This is awful. I kind of think that's the way the game is now. I think that's just how it is. And I think as time goes by, and I know people get mad about it, but I think that's just how the game works. Eichel's close to returning. Speaking of injured players, not playing tonight, but he's close. And of course, Patterson, again, and Nimchas talked about this yesterday. The report is it's a sprained MCL ligament in his knee. 2 weeks is the report on that. Again, I don't overly worry because I don't see the Canucks as being in the playoff chase at all. They've played more games than everybody else. And there's talk about Edler, and what the Canucks might do with Edler. Are they going to be sellers at the deadline? My answer is yes to being sellers. See if Edler wants to stick around and play a couple more years as a Canuck. Look, their blue line is not very good. The Canucks' blue line is really not very good. And while I've been critical of Edler, he's been pretty solid this year. And if he'll stick around at about the same cap hit he is right now, he's like, I think, $5 million. Even at 6.5, I'd say why not? There is no downgrading of the blue line by keeping him around. It's not like Hughes is the guy who's going to get his spot replaced by Edler. So, yeah, Pettersson out for 2 weeks, and Edler, I hope he remains a Canuck. And Ehlers is out until mid-February. Again, I would have reported this yesterday. But Ehlers for the Jets is out till mid-February. That does eat into their scoring depth, but it means an opportunity for somebody else to step in and score those goals he would have. It's rough news for Ehlers, though, because it felt like he was finally coming into his own and producing pretty consistently, and then an injury steps in. It's frustrating when you see that happen to a player. All right, there you go. That's the news of the day. Let me know your thoughts. And I was going to do an Adam Oates video today. Now I got to delay that video till tomorrow because I do have a cap on how many videos I want to do in a day and leave room there in case there's a trade or something big happens. So I can't do my Adam Oates video today. But by mentioning it, it means I have to do an Adam Oates video. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.